Long before zombies shuffled across every corner of pop culture, Marvel Comics introduced a unique take on the undead: Simon Garth, the zombie. Neither a brain-craving monster nor a traditional horror villain, Simon Garth was a tragic, tormented figure caught between life and death. His story fused classic horror with unexpected emotional depth, creating one of the most enduring and sympathetic undead characters in comic book history. Simon Garth first appeared in Menace No. 5 in the 1953s, published by Atlas Comics, Marvel's predecessor. Created by writer Stan Lee and artist Bill Everett, Garth was introduced in a short horror tale titled Zombie. This early incarnation was a typical 1950s morality horror story, but it left enough of a mark to be resurrected decades later, literally and figuratively. In the 1970s, during a boom in horror comics and under the more relaxed Comics Code, Marvel revived Simon Garth in Tales of the Zombie No. 1, 1973. This magazine format series, which allowed for more graphic and mature content, reimagined Garth's tale with greater emotional complexity and a fully fleshed out backstory. He was written by Steve Gerber and illustrated by Pablo Marcos, with stories often drawn by the legendary Alfredo Alcala and covers by Boris Vallejo. Simon Garth was a wealthy New Orleans businessman who was betrayed by his gardener, Gyps, due to years of mistreatment. Gyps kidnapped him and delivered him to a voodoo cult, where a ritual transformed Simon into a zombie controlled by the mystic amulet of Damballa. Though cursed to obey whoever possessed the twin of the amulet embedded in his chest, Garth retained fragments of his humanity, often resisting commands or expressing sorrow, regret, and even love. This internal conflict became the heart of his story. Unlike many horror characters, Simon Garth wasn't an antagonist. He was the victim. The series presented him as a tragic anti-hero, wandering the world in search of peace, redemption, or simply rest. His slow decay and tortured soul reflected larger themes of justice, morality, and the cost of vengeance. Each issue was drenched in gothic atmosphere, philosophical musings, and eerie artwork that set it apart from Marvel's more mainstream titles. Tales of the Zombie ran for 10 issues plus a super annual before ending in 1975. Over time, Garth faded into obscurity, though he maintained a loyal cult following. He resurfaced sporadically in the Marvel Universe, often during supernatural events or horror-themed crossovers. In the early 2000s, Simon was revived once again in a modern setting. Zombie, Simon Garth, 2007, a 5-issue miniseries by Kyle Hotz and Eric Powell, reintroduced Garth for a new generation, blending classic horror with a gritty, noir edge. This version saw Garth as a mortician caught in a zombie outbreak, only to be turned into a new incarnation of the voodoo-powered undead. Though a reboot, it kept many of the original themes: Garth's struggle against his monstrous urges and his lingering human soul. Simon Garth also made appearances in titles like Marvel Zombies, Legion of Monsters, and Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, often used as both a nostalgic callback and a legitimate supernatural powerhouse. Unlike the parody-heavy tone of Marvel Zombies, Garth remained largely serious and tragic, a reminder of Marvel's horror roots. What makes Simon Garth's story enduring is the fusion of horror with humanity. He's not just a creature of the night. He's a man trapped in a nightmare, constantly fighting for dignity and peace in a body that won't let him rest. In a universe filled with cosmic beings and masked heroes, the zombie stands as a quiet, shuffling symbol of sorrow and survival.